friends! My name is Antoinette Chanel and welcome back to my channel. It's time for another Harry and Meghan update. Can you believe it? It's been a little while, so let's back up and just recap where our gruesome twosome have been over the last couple of months. So in March of 2025, Meghan launched her With Love. I get the names all mixed up. She launched With Love on Netflix. That premiered. You know what's interesting about that is that show, they did not drip that show. They actually just dropped all the episodes at once. Like Netflix didn't even want to piecemeal it out, almost like they knew nobody would be sitting at the edge of their seat waiting for new content on this show. There's also been an announcement that there's a season 2 of this. I don't believe it's season 2. I believe that all of this stuff was filmed for season 1, and then they decided we'll drop part of it in the spring and we'll drop part of it in the fall. So it's not like the response to it has just been overwhelmingly positive and that this show has been so popular that Netflix had to renew it. They already had the content filmed. They just did this as a marketing ploy, and really it says nothing about the popularity of the show. If anything, I would say that all of the content about how unrealistic that show is more of an indication of how the public is receiving it. So in addition to With Love Meghan, the Netflix show, she also launched a new podcast. And I'm just gonna put this out there right now, you guys. I'm not gonna listen to that podcast. I'm not gonna watch that podcast. I am not gonna consume that podcast. I am so bored with watching the Netflix show that I just refuse to put my eardrums and my brain cells through yet more of Meghan's watery, drivelly content. And so one of the things that I did notice though, because even though I'm not watching the podcast, not listening to it, I will watch other people rip it to shreds. One of the things I noticed is that Meghan, I guess, is going for a no makeup look with this podcast, or at least for the episode that's aired so far. But look at the shade of her arm and then look at the shade of her face. Meanwhile, Meghan has also been posting more regularly to her Instagram account. Most of that content corresponds with the product launch for As Ever and, whatever else she has going on in her universe. But I'm noticing that we're seeing the kids more. We're not seeing full frontals of them, so we still don't have clear face pictures of the kids yet, but we're seeing the backs of heads with conspicuously bright orange and red hair. And then I think someone found a drop shipping site, not a drop shipping site, but it was one of those merch sites where basically you go and you can find the outfit that someone was wearing, like Princess Charlotte. I couldn't verify that this was Meghan's doing, but it definitely seems rich for a Sussex brand to be hawking an outfit that Princess Charlotte was wearing. Meghan and Harry also appeared at the Invictus Games in, I think, March of 2025. The reports on Meghan's outfits and the budget for what she was wearing at the Invictus Games. Oh, those were in line with everything that we've seen in the past. If you want to know about the history of the Invictus Games or where the games have been, I've done a video on that on this channel that you can check out. Meghan also did an interview on the Drew Barrymore show. I didn't watch that interview, but I have seen other commentators talking about that interview and just some of the highlights, which basically it sounds like there was a lot of that forced interaction that we are seeing in With Love happening on that show between Drew and Meghan. Meghan also talks about story time with her kids and how she always packs a thin book because Papa, when they're reading to the kids, whatever. If there's one message or one through line that Meghan weaves through everything that she does, it's always this message of female empowerment that she keeps trying to force feed us and attach herself to. She wants to be seen as a public figure who is engaged in this sort of work of empowering other women of all cultures, women who are different from her, and uplifting them and being this role model and stuff, except I've never bought that from her, and I don't see where her attempts are even halfway authentic. Look at how she shows up when she's in front of school-aged children abroad, supposedly doing charity work. That's not empowerment. That is making other people feel really uncomfortable because you're not dressed appropriately. You're not really showcasing your womanhood appropriately. So I just don't see how that can be empowering. I don't see how all these passive aggressive digs that you make at other women, certain women, are meant to be empowering. She's also mixing up her messages now because, as we've all seen in one of the gift baskets or packages that she sent from her As Ever is the brand, yeah, With Love is the TV show. She sent a package to somebody, and on the note that was enclosed, she used her HRH title, which she's actually not supposed to use anymore. After Megxit, that was something that she and Harry relinquished. And why should she want to use the HRH title is my question. This institution who you've claimed is just so racist, so rude and mean, they bullied you, they were so discriminatory and just so outright just bitter towards you. Why on earth would you want to assume any piece, any remnant of what that institution was in your own life? And a lot of folks are arguing, oh, well, she's not using it commercially. It's not a big deal because she's not selling products with it. But it doesn't matter. She said that these people discriminated against her. And the way that Harry's been talking over the last few years, that there was a threat on her life, that the British people wanted to kill her, that the royal family didn't want to protect her. I don't know. You're never going to see me running around sporting KKK merch or supporting any of their initiatives because those are a group of people who don't like me, so I don't really associate with them. So, I mean, it seems like it should be the same sort of attitude from Meghan. Why do you want to carry an HRH title, even be known as the Duchess of Sussex? Do you even know where Sussex is? Why would you want to be known as that if you don't care for the institution and you never want to go back to that country? But there are some royal experts who are speculating that perhaps Harry and Meghan are interested in calling a truce, in coming back together, in reuniting with the royal family. I mean, I have absolutely no insider information. I don't really have a dog in the fight either. I mean, if the royal family decides that they want to welcome Harry and Meghan back with open arms, that's their business. If they decide they want to welcome Harry back but not Meghan, that's also their business. If they decide, you know what, we just ain't effing with y'all, that's their business too. I wouldn't blame them in the slightest. A lot of people are commenting on the fact that it seems like King Charles doesn't want to speak to Harry. And if I had to guess, I would say that King Charles doesn't want the drama of speaking to Harry. King Charles, unfortunately, is experiencing a decline in his health. He is taking it easy, living his life as best he can, but he's not the healthiest he's ever been, and I think a lot of people know what that means. Meanwhile, he's just ascended to the throne. I think he's been there for like coming up on 2 years or something close to that, and the one thing that he asked Harry not to do was to make his final days torture. He asked that of both of his sons. William seems to be understanding that assignment and keeping out of all of the drama with the tabloids and going back and forth with the Sussexes. But as we can see by all of the headlines that we see literally every day from these two, Harry's not doing that. And is it sad? Absolutely. But I personally wouldn't blame King Charles at all if he decided that, you know what, I've just got a finite amount of time left on this earth. I know how I want to enjoy it and who I want to spend it with, and it's not them. And I guess that brings us to the latest court dealings for Harry, because someone just got dealt a loss recently. Oh, holding on to L's is like something he loves to do, isn't it? L after L after L. He just loves taking these L's. That's all right, Harry. You hold your L like a man. So the UK Court of Appeal just recently decided that they were going to hold their ruling, which states that Harry will not be entitled to taxpayer-funded security when he's in the UK. And so the loss with this is not only him not getting the security that he wanted, but also having to pay the £1.5 million for all of the legal fees, all of the stuff that's been going on. He lost, so now he's got to pick up the tab. Personally, I have always scratched my head at this whole security debacle, this whole argument that Meghan and Harry seem to always want to make for for why they need so much security. And we even saw, I think it was during the month of April, that Meghan decided to go to New York and attend a show on Broadway, and she brought security with her then too. This is outlandish. This is completely over the top, overboard, not at all what you would need. Meanwhile, the actual royals, the people who actually reside in the palace and they are working royals, part of the family, they don't even carry that much security. And Harry and Meghan really just look like those cowardly bullies on the schoolyard who know that they want to walk around and mouth off at people and pull pranks on people and like throw stones and hide their hands, but they don't want to do it unless they have somebody else there to protect them when everything goes wrong. I mean, look at the Oprah interview. Lots of stones thrown, but in the aftermath of that, oh, nobody ever said that the British family was racist. Look at Spare. All of the inaccuracies within Spare, the conflicts that Harry felt the need to regale us with, even though these were non-events, and then the very awful, straight up awful way that they treated that Dutch translator. But then it's all just a bunch of, oh, well, we didn't know. We had no idea. That wasn't supposed to be printed there like that. That wasn't us. I mean, they're playing in our faces. They're playing in the faces of their fans more than anything. And I actually have some more detailed thoughts about this whole security debacle thing regarding Meghan that I learned about when I listened to Courtiers by Valentine Lowe. There is a very logical explanation for what was happening behind the scenes with regard to Meghan's security, and it's not that they didn't want to give it to her. And the royal family worked to find a plan for providing security for Harry and Meghan after they fled to Canada, but that created a lot of logistical issues, and I'll get to those in my video. I promise I'll cover it. Bottom line, this whole argument about the security stuff, it's yet another non-argument. It is a nothing burger with some flavorless tea on the side. Harry did an interview recently after losing this UK Court of Appeal for this security, where he basically once again sort of like talked out of both sides of his mouth like he likes to do. So in one sense, he'll say that he really wants to reconcile and he misses his family. But then he also seems to have a chip on his shoulder and he's holding on to this idea that, you know, you guys just, you did us wrong and you disrespected my wife. But then he talks about how much he wants to reconcile and how important it is for maybe his kids to get to know his father someday. But then we again come back to the threats and how dangerous it would be for me to bring my family to the UK. And it's like, dude, pick a side. I think maybe that's why Charles doesn't want to talk to you, because you keep flip-flopping all over the place and he's sick of that shit. All of us are tired. William said in 2024 that 2024 was the worst year of his life. I get it. It was the worst year of my life too. Ain't nobody got time to be going back and forth. Ain't nobody got time to be wasting time fighting through headlines and tabloids and shit. We got people out here with cancer, people out here trying to heal, people out here on borrowed time. So no, I get why people don't want to deal with Harry, and I get why King Charles wouldn't want to speak to him either with everything else that he has on his plate. And I do hope that the rumors are true that William is planning to snatch that HRH title from both of them so that they can stop using it, and hopefully it'll put a stop to a lot of these shenanigans that we're seeing too. Because I'm also seeing reports here that Harry and Meghan are supposed to visit Nigeria this month being May 2025. I just shudder to think about what Meghan's gonna wear and what awful, cringy things they're going to do to the people of Nigeria as they visit, but hey, I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. The thing about these two is that they're very easy to cover because they don't let very much time pass before they remind you that they're here, because see, I've got my symbols and I'm crashing them in your face. Don't forget that I'm here. And it's funny. It's pretty hilarious. I do this because it makes me laugh, but it's also exhausting after a certain point. Like, dang, girl, you just gave us a lukewarm Netflix show in which you were dressed ridiculously trying to cook and show us how to do stuff with food. And now you got a podcast too? Ugh. It's been nonstop with Harry and Meghan since the start of 2025. And we're in May, so 5 consecutive months of just straight up bombardment of all of their stuff, all of their projects, all of their headlines, all of their gripes, all of their court dates. I personally have fatigue, so I understand if those who are connected to these two personally also have fatigue. And I think that's a good place for me to end. That's all I've got on this topic, friends. Thank you so much for being here, but you let me know, what do you think Harry and Meghan are going to be up to, especially as we get into the summer? Do you think we'll see more merching of the kids? Do you think we'll see more international trips? What's it gonna be? If you liked this video, please give it a like so that I can survive the algorithm, because they be eating us alive out here. Also, you can leave me a comment below. I love hearing from you guys. I've finally learned how to moderate my comment section, so thank you guys so much for bearing with me. And if you want to see more content from me, consider hitting the subscribe button so that you can be notified every time I upload new videos. I do still have plans to break down the remaining episodes of With Love, Meghan. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I'm doing it. I said I'd watch the show so you didn't have to. Didn't know what I was saying. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, you can at the handle that's on your screen right there. But thank you so much for being here, for watching this video, for taking the time to comment, for liking, all of that engagement. I very much appreciate you folks. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.